All right, good afternoon. Today I'm up about, connector, about $190. Here are my three trades from today. The account rests at 102, 572, and 8 cents. So here's a look at some of the trades that I had taken today. So coming into today, we have month over month core, month over month regular CPI, and then year over year CPI, as well as unemployment claims. So a lot going on this morning, and that actually we'll get to that in a second. But coming into the morning, we actually inversed this daily for value gap, showing bullish signs, but it was barely an inverse. But last 3 days have been straight to the upside. In the last 3 days, price has ran 600 points. So coming into today, I was a little skeptical of what the bias would be, just in the fact that we have had so much upside, and it would be probable to see a reversal at some point. So yesterday in the video, I had this fair value gap marked out that was in line with a nice stack of order blocks, and I was kind of wanting to see this area get drawn to at some point in the future for a retracement, but price has, not want to do that, but price has kind of taken out a lot of its buy side objectives. And by that, I mean we had relative equal highs over here. Price took it out. And if it wanted to continue to move higher, we have this 1 hour fair value gap in the way, but we did take out all these relative equal highs. Up here would be the next draw. But coming into this morning, this is kind of where price was sitting. We had large displacement down. I was pretty unsure, and my bias did change today. And even looking at the 30-minute, we do have a bearish breaker to the downside with displacement giving a bias for shorts. So overall, I was leaning more short biased than anything. Coming into the 15 minutes, I mean, price comes up and ends up back down. But what I want to get to is these data highs and these data lows on the 1 minute at 8:30. And those can be a very, very strong draw for liquidity because there is a lot of orders resting above and below, and market usually likes to grab them. So coming into the morning, we had buy side being the data high and sell side being the data low. And this ended up working nice because overnight, not a whole lot happened. We just kind of ranged over the entire night, and news came in and swept both sides. So right now it was looking probable for, well, actually we came down and we didn't sweep sell side. I'm not sure if we had an S&T here. But then we started moving up, and coming into this in the morning, I was already looking for longs pre-market, and I was able to get into some longs. So price came down. The macro just ended. We did not sweep sell side. I was assuming the draw was higher. Price came down into this 1 minute fair value gap. I entered long here, and I was targeting this. My first partial was the top of, let me show you, the top of the 15-minute fair value gap. So I got out right there of one of my contracts. And then the next contract, I wanted to take this buy side where the top of, buy side for the market candle, or not market candle, but news candle. And I seen we started a breakdown, so I have partial here because if price came back up, I wanted to partial another one here. But I did re-enter here off this order block for another one, but that got stopped out immediately. So this long was net profitable, but I did get stopped out at break even on it. And the thing was, there was a SMT with YM, and I did not check YM. That was the only one I did not check. No SMT with ES, but there was an SMT with YM. So as price started to come down farther, this ended up seeming like too deep of a, or not seeming, but it was too deep of a quote unquote retracement for me to expect us to go higher now, and it did seem like we wanted to go lower. If YM had swept buy side, ES and NQ do not have to. So we have yes, bearish SMT to push us lower. And here I was already looking for shorts, but we have a breaker in line with a 1 minute for value gap for, actually, I don't know if this would be a technical unicorn setup. Yeah. For a unicorn setup, and price came down. Nope, that's not where I entered. There we go. So there is our breaker for unicorn setup. 1 minute for value gap. Uh, where did I enter? I think I just entered chance. Oh, off of this order block tap. Yes. Because this had formed after I had already entered, but I had entered 2 contracts on this order block tap right there and wanted to see the lows get taken, and we created this breaker in the process, and price just kind of ended up consolidating and messing around and then made a run for it. I was not pyramiding in because I didn't check YM. I was not sure why that high didn't get taken, and I wasn't thinking SMT in my head. So I was not comfortable with pyramiding into a bigger position. But price got to about right here, and then ES swept, I won't even find it, but ES swept its low. And with how it had been the whole morning, it was clean. I just didn't check for SMTs. And because I didn't know that there was an SMT, I got out around here and literally the next candle sliced immediately through it. But I did not hold any runners today. I had some other things to attend to, and I was just done. Um, but here I do have this 1 minute for value gap drawn out because this was an inversion. I would have or not partial, but pyramided another contract off of, but I just, like I said before, I wasn't comfortable with it. So that was all my trades for the morning, but looking in the afternoon, price did eventually sell off, and right now this is starting to look like a little buy model setting up with our consolidation, manipulate up, take out all these highs, and then start moving back down. But the other reason I think this is a buy model, and it comes into play with the fair value gap I had drawn out before, or the 4 hour fair value gap from the day before, was look where price tapped. Price tapped right into this fair value gap, and of this leg, this fair value gap is in discount, and there's an order block, 4 hour fair value gap, and look at this wick. This is a 180 point wick, and that to me is saying, hey, price is collecting orders and looks like it's in a rush to get back up. So going into the next, or tomorrow for Friday, but even next week, I would expect us to seek much higher as we just inversed this 1 hour, and now we have an inversion, and we're starting to move through this order block. We have a little internal buy side for this range above, but that order block and that fair value gap ended up coming into play. But higher time frame narrative is so important to keep in mind. Fair value gap and discount in line with the order block, price hits it, boom, immediately moves higher. And if I mean, even if you look on a 5 minute, this looks like a buy model with our highs above. Smart money reversal, go up. I'm guessing there's probably an SMT down here somewhere. We can actually check for that. SMT, 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 not with NQ, but that would be my expectations. But in regards to micros, I know I said I would stop trading micros, but I was thinking about that again. I am comfortable trading micros, even though the account is 100K and I should be trading with minis. I am comfortable seeing these numbers, and I would be comfortable seeing these numbers in the negative. And I am still just learning and showing proof of concept. So I'm not necessarily looking to trade minis because micros do the job for me. And as I get more comfortable with seeing wins and seeing losses, I will definitely be more apt to trade with some more size. But overall, good day. Had to switch up my bias, but otherwise, that's all I got for you guys. Good luck tomorrow.